3v3 Tiber Outpost. Blue team is Ogranyanos as the Eldar Warlock, offensive melee commander. Start with Guardians, light ranged infantry. Alongside Buzz as the Force commander, offensive melee, can buff his troops. Start with Scouts, light ranged infantry. And Wildbold as the Inquisitor, offensive commander, fights ranged and melee, has lots of snares. Start with Guardsmen, light ranged infantry. Over on the red team we have Mr. Ricco as the Lictor Alpha, infiltrating commander, good at sniping and generally harassing and being annoying. Start with Hormagaunts, light melee infantry. Also on the red team we have ILPRA as the Plague Champion, defensive supportive commander, can heal, can build turrets. Pretty good all round, but is a bit slow as you can see. Starts with Heretics, light melee infantry. And Elk as the Mekboy, can teleport, can build turrets, can support, but he's not the toughest commander around. Starts with Slugger Boys, light melee infantry. We see Ogranyanos goes for triple Guardians here up against the Lictor Alpha in the northeast, the top. 3 Vipers as always, one at the top being capped by Hormagaunts, one middle and one bottom. None of them are natural. We have Jmkcbuzz going for Tactical Marines to start, heavy ranged infantry. Kraken bolts there against these Chaos Space Marines of ILPRA. ILPRA has gone double CSM, heavy ranged infantry, though they are good in melee too. Double shooters from Elk, as is to be expected. Big shooter already on one squad. Force commander taking loads of damage, might go down in retreat here to range fire, and does. Wildbold helping him out with the Inquisitor, already has the Holy Brazier, giving her a power melee weapon. She can go and wail on these power armoured Chaos Space Marines now, and she does. She's getting shot up by these shooters though. Heretics move in, no real need to Doom Blast. There goes Holy Pyre, but she might go down in retreat here. Probably will, and they do. Blue team lose 2 commanders within the first minutes of the match. Top is red, middle is uncapped, bottom is red. Red have won this engagement. Mekboy getting close though, retreat just in time. Nurgle worship from these heretics, boosting the regeneration of nearby infantry. In comes the Sentinels to stomp on their faces. Plague Champion might take out some scout models here. They have their sergeant, and they lose 2 models, but not their sergeant, luckily for them. Chaos Space Marines trying to take out some more in retreat, and they do. The sergeant is the only thing alive and gets away. Big shooter boys forcing off the Sentinel, tier 1 vehicle for Imperial Guard. Can decap points but cannot cap them. Chaos Space Marine is now going to move in on this natural power, which has no generators. Meanwhile, top is also red. Ogranyanos has Rangers on the field and a Shuriken Cannon moving up. Rangers are sniper infantry, long range fire support, good at constant model losses, especially on light infantry such as Tyranids. Crippling poison forces off the Warlock. Mass retreat from Mr. Ricco. The Lictor Alpha of course going down at this top power. Guardians decapping, and they can cap top 2. Wildbold has repurchased his commander, so the Inquisitor's back in the fight, moving to the bottom with Space Marines, Guardsmen and a Sentinel and Scouts with their sergeant. So if we see a nice clump of red stuff, we may see grenade. Here comes some Havocs from ILPRA. Set up team that's suppressed by default, good position. Covering the bottom VP, but they're getting flanked by this grenade. Brilliantly placed, takes out 2 models I think, yes, and that last model's going to go down in melee to Space Marines on retreat. tough loss from ILPRA, pretty unlucky there. Pushed him up a bit too eagerly and got caught. We have looters in this building. Set up team for Orks, suppressed by default, also can infiltrate themselves. Orks are pushing this natural power. Sluggers have their burners, meaning that they get a couple of power weapons, good versus Marines. Assault Marines you see there, jumping in. Disruption infantry can jump and knock down and fight in melee. Good synergy with the Force Commander with his battle cry. Looters locking down the approach to Red's natural power at the bottom. Meanwhile top, Termagant's working on this power node, but this Shuriken cannon will shut them down or not. Goes for the Hormagaunts instead. They are taking ridiculous amounts of damage. Mr. Ricco notices and pulls them out. Top is uncapped. There's a plasma grenade perfectly placed. Mr. Ricco does well to move his Termagants out. Elk, ILPRA and Wildbold all go tier 2. Here comes the Lictor infiltrated. Must have been repurchased. Did not see anyone come up here to revive him. He's getting out of there. Termagants almost losing a squad, will they? And they do. Ranger shot takes it out on retreat. Warlock is taking the top. Mr. Ricco took tons of losses there. Floating tons of resources though. Meanwhile bottom. And he goes tier 2. ILPRA lost his starting Heretic squad. Still has 2 Kill Space Marines and Heretics with their aspiring champion squad leader. You can see that. Wildbold comes to push them off this power. They weren't able to take out the node. Plague Champion weighing in with his Plague Bolter, does damage over time. There's a Blight Grenade and it gets the Guardsman. Doesn't do a huge amount of damage unless they come back into the AoE, and they do, to repair the Sentinel. No model losses though. Icon of Nurgle is usually preferred to the Blight Grenades these days. Down goes a Chaos Space Marine squad by the Inquisitor, Hammer of Witches finishing it off. ILPRA taking some heavy losses in tier 1, now tier 2. Ogrin's on the way for Wildbold. Sentinel goes down. Ogranyanos goes tier 2. Buzz is the only one not to beat. Sluggers don't have their Nob leader yet. We have a war truck on the field for Elk. Ork transport unit, pretty vulnerable, but it does the job of moving boys around. Snipers have their scouts. Sorry, scouts have their sniper even. Also have their sergeant still. Meanwhile, top, huge engagement. Lictor Alpha has got behind the Shuriken cannon. Knocked back by the Ranger's kinetic shock, but it won't work. And there's a plasma grenade. Hormagaunts dying in droves. May see the squad wiped here. And they are. Mr. Ricco rus taking huge losses. Lictor Alpha's going to need to retreat and does. Ravener's on the way. Both blue commanders down again, Buzz and Wildbold. Here we see Guardsmen with plasma guns. Good versus these Chaos Space Marines, of which there is now 1 squad. And they have Mark of Tzeentch Plague Marines on the field for ILPRA. Very slow anti-tank infantry, very very tough. Pretty even match. Buzz has lost a Tactical Marine squad. Mr. Ricco has lost quite a lot. Here are the Raveners engaging Eldar, outnumbered here. Trying to take out this Shuriken cannon, which has caused so much problems for Ricco. Staying in the fight. Need to be careful here, doesn't want to lose that Ravener squad. Gets away with one member, I think, should be able to. Meanwhile, bottom, Salt Marines have their sergeant, but they are forced off, out, right into a noxious cloud. And they lose a member. Scouts lose 3 members, that sergeant hangs on. Red's now pushing Blue's natural power at the bottom. Reds have done very well at the bottom, complete map control down here. 257 plays 377, tier 3 for Elk. Ogranyanos has a Falcon on the field. Fantastic Eldar transport vehicle, allows them to reinforce. Also does light anti-vehicle damage, and in tier 3 can get a shield, making it very tough. Guardsmen dying in droves to Zeech Marines. But they're doing a nice amount of damage with those plasmas. Can they stay in the fight long enough? They retreat. Force Commander has his armor of alacrity, that's why he's running so fast. Plague Champion now fully kitted out, Plague Sword, fetid armor, and those Blight Grenades. Here come the Ogrins, very tough, very powerful melee unit for Imperial Guard, but they're forced off, completely isolated there. This Heretic Worship healing all of these infantry. This power farm is going to go down. Mekboy, haven't seen a lot of him. Seems to be porting around and capping. Has his Daka big shooter. Also getting his Mega Rumbler out. Fantastic disruption war gear. Big blob of battle equipment guardians comes centre to cap. Here comes the Mekboy, engaging them in melee. Needs to be careful, if they turn and engage he's going to take a lot of damage, and he realises and gets the hell out of there. And they go back to capping. 203 plays 377. Top is still blue and pretty uneventful. Mr. Ricco Rus only has Raveners on the field, but he is tier 3 and has a decent amount of resources. Could lick to spam, I suppose. Plague Champion goes down to Ogrins. Out, Blight Grenade destroying tons of guards when they get away just. Will they? No, one squad goes down, other squad survives. Nice to see the Blight Grenade actually do a good job. Force Commander goes down again. Wildbold is still down at the bottom VP. Buzz and Wildbold having trouble keeping their commanders alive. Ogrins can't take out the looters, just get away. Autark called down from Ogranyanos, forced off by sluggers who have their Nob Leader, so they are pretty fearsome melee unit right now. Burners and Nob Leader. Ogrins pulling back. Wildbold can revive Buzz. Top is still blue. Mr. Ricco went down in middle. Carnifex on the way. Looted tank on the way. Buzz goes tier 3, has the zeal for Terminators. Warlock has Merciless Switchblade and Warp Throat. Blues need to do something here. They have the 2-to-1 cap, 199 plays 333. Ogrins need to push off these shooters so they can cap up bottom. This has been red for a long time. Salt Marine's still around, level 2 now. Very tough, 1760 health. Ogrin's retreating, pretty unnecessary, didn't need to retreat there. Need to spread out and cap, also grab this wreck point. Carnifex barging in, there's the Noxious Cloud, this Falcon is dead. Bit over eager there from Ogranyanos, didn't need to push for the power. Might go down and retreat to the Carnifex, and does. Warlock is down. This is a Thornback Carnifex. Bottom is now blue, they have the triple cap. Looted tank did not defend the VP there. Mekboy, 2 to 1 cap, 199 plays 333. Ogrins need to push off these shooters so they can cap up bottom. This has been red for a long time. Salt Marine's still around, level 2 now. Very tough, 1760 health. Ogrins retreating, Assault Marines and the Inquisitor take out this power node, and they can cap 199 plays 266. Blue team, pretty decent turnaround here. ILPRA lost a lot of stuff. Mr. Ricco lost a lot of stuff. Ravener's now working on this top power. Shuriken Cannon and Rangers won't be able to do anything against the Carnifex.
The foe seeks to deprive us of a vital resource point.
It's pretty close though still. Buzz and Wildbold have also lost a lot of stuff. VPs will be tied up soon enough. Force Commander has his power fist, so he's pretty fearsome in melee if he can get into range without dying. Almost does go down in retreat to these shooter boys. Level 3 shooters. They're pretty fearsome in range now. Assault Marines taking tons of damage from Tzeentch shooters and Plague Marines and the looted tank. Those guardsmen need to get out of there. What are they doing? May lose the squad here, and do. Huge blow to Wildbold. All he has are level 2 Ogryns. This is a Terminators. We have Assault Terminators on the field from Buzz. Baneblade on the way for Wildbold. There's the Mega Rumbler from Elk, disrupting these Ogryns and Terminators. These are Assault Terminators, of course. Unique to the Force Commander, have Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. Good anti-vehicle weapons and makes them a bit tougher with his shields. No sign of them switching to Lightning Claws. Here's the great unclean one for ILPRA. Looted tank goes down to Terminators. Chaos super unit fights in melee, very tough, especially if worshipped by heretics, of which ILPRA has none. Has a lot of nasty abilities. There's one of them, and there's another cloud of flies. Assault Marines need to be very careful. I don't think their teleport is off cooldown. They're going to lose members in melee to this great unclean one here. Down to half health already. There's a Holy Pyre. Tzeentch Marines support. Assault Marines need to pull back. Mr. Ricco has retaken top and center. 182 plays 113. Reds have triple cap. Assault Marines get away without any losses. Here comes the Baneblade from Wildbold. Imperial Guard super unit, super heavy tank, bristling with guns, las cannons, main battle tank, heavy bolters, demolisher cannon. You name it, it's got it. Vulnerable to strong melee infantry since it's pretty slow and cannot use its main guns at close range. Looks like Wildbold is just going to use it to camp this bottom VP. Autark capping top, no walking for her. Avatar on the way for Ogranyanos. More Plague Marines on the way for ILPRA, choice in my opinion. Elk going for Knob, so this is going to turn into a riot. Warlock still down. Force Commander comes to revive him. Assault Marines jumping these shooters, but then they see the knobs. Elite Orc infantry, you don't get much tougher than these guys. Baneblade shots, and they are forced off. Bit premature, I think. Could have rushed the Baneblade and took it out with the help of the Great Unclean One. But they play it safe. 117 plays 96, 2-1 cap for blue team. Mr. Ricco is top with Raveners up against the Autark, has her Executioner now. Raveners are forced off. Don't lose a model though. She could jump and get one down. Nope. Carnifex and Lictor Alpha going top. Lictor Alpha has his toxin miasma, and deadly jump. Carnifex charging these Guardians. only lose a couple of models. Quick thinking from Ogranyanos to fleet of foot away. Here's the Avatar though. Eldar super unit fights in melee. Buffs all surrounding Eldar, as you can see by those blue markers underneath the Guardian's feet. Chasing off the Carnifex.
We are losing a victory objective.
Land Raider on the way for Buzz. Baneblade went down, missed that. Can we find its shell anywhere? No. I assume the Crate and Clean one and Knobs were involved. Elk now has double Knob squads. They have their huge hammers, or at least one squad does, and the other squad are getting them, so they are fearsome. Foul Snare takes out a scout. No, it doesn't. But it makes them run the hell away. Blues now pushing Sensor Swarmlord on the field for Ricco rus. All he has now are Carnifex and Swarmlord, two big beasties. Ogranyanos needs to get a Bright Lance on the field, I think. Assault Terminators and Assault Marines. No, Assault Marines going bottom now. Assault Terminators and Avatar engaging the Carnifex. It's not going to last long in combat with those. Imperial Guard Inquisitor went down. Turret comes up from the Plague Champion. Heavy bolters by default can upgrade to a las cannon turret, but you very rarely see that. Force Corner went down to dual knobs. They lost quite a lot of health though. They will cap the center. Autark capping top. Does she have a shield yet? Nope. Warlock chased off by the Lictor Alpha. Must not have his flesh hooks or he could have taken him out. Again, Force Commander and Inquisitor are down. Here is the Land Raider for Buzz. Space Marine super unit. Pretty much acts as a mobile base with two heavy flamers and a multi-melter and a assault cannon on top. Boosts regeneration and acts as a reinforce point and a retreat point. Tyranids formation on this middle VP. Swarmlord is gonna go down, I think. Carnifex is very close to going down to 94 HP. They could follow them into base and finish them off. Another Carnifex on the field from Mr. Ricco. Baneblade number 2 is on the field for Wildbold. Gonna take pretty long to get to the centre. It's quite a large map. Dual Plague Marines working on these Guardians. May see a big plasma grenade spike. Looks like they're moving for melee. There's the spike and it misses. Land Raider can help him out though. And here are Ogrins. Plague Marines. Plague Marines explode on death, of course, doing damage and healing, which is why these Ogrins keep falling over. They are level 3 now. Map is pretty much all red, so close, 56 to 54. Double cap for, triple cap for red team. Blues need some mobility here, which they're not going to get from the Baneblade and the Land Raider. They're running out of time. Force Squad needs to get up and go and sprint to the bottom VP, I think. Noxious Cloud from ILPRA. Don't think it'll take anything out though. Ogrins are pretty hardy at level 3. We have a Venom Cannon Carnifex, fantastic anti-vehicle. That Land Raider is not going to last long against dual knobs, Swarmlord and Venom Cannon. There it goes, and there's rocks from Elk, but it's of no consequence because they have won. VPs count to 0. Blue team lacking mobility at the end couldn't outcap the Reds. Great ugly one taking out some scouts there. And that's it in the game. Well played, Red Team. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.